I build my own off-road rigs and I do my own maintenance, and as such, I think I've earned the title of fairly average home mechanic. And with that, I thought I'd put a list together of things that I think you would find useful if you want to be an average home mechanic like me. So let's dive in and take a look. So first up on the list is this spill-proof radiator coolant funnel. Essentially, this thing just attaches to the top of your radiator like so, and it allows you to have a nice large funnel to pour coolant in to, well, fill your system up. It comes with a bunch of different attachments for different radiator styles, different cap styles, and it seals with gaskets so you're not going to get any leaking or anything. Super easy, awesome. I use it on all my vehicles. There's really no reason not to get it, especially at that price. Definitely take a look at this one. On to the next one. This one is just a little OBD2 scanner. I actually have two of these, and the reason is I keep one in the 4Runner and then I keep one in the garage. I might actually buy a third and throw it in the Jeep. They're really handy. I'll give you an example. I took the 4Runner out to work one time and it came up with a check engine light. And I was like, well, what the heck is that? And I plugged it in and read the code, and basically it said it was a small evap leak, which usually means gas cap. Call up Toyota, ordered a gas cap, drove by after work, picked it up, put it on there, code went away. It also allows you to remove the codes, so if you're troubleshooting something and you need to clear them, and this is pretty awesome. It works really, really well, especially for this price. Again, no reason to not have one. Newer cars are going to use OBD, lots of electronics. Check engine light could mean anything, and this is a cheap, easy way to start figuring out what's going on. So the next one here is a trickle charger for your batteries, your automotive batteries. And I have the older version of this that does AGM. It doesn't do lithium. I don't have any lithium batteries though, but it is awesome. I've had it for a while and I use it on many, many things. So primarily it gets plugged into the Jeep when we park it for a period of time to keep the battery nice and charged so I don't ruin it. But I also use it to charge an AGM battery that I have underneath the workbench. And that one is more for some of the DC tools that I have. Like I have a DC chainsaw sharpener that I use, and I plug it up to that battery, and then I just use this to keep that battery topped up and conditioned. They're really nice. They keep your batteries nicely charged. Every once in a while I'll take it to my other vehicles and let them charge for a night. It's just good. It conditions the battery, charges them, and keeps them topped up. Your batteries will last a lot longer with this simple little tool, and this one's on sale right now, so that's kind of nice. The next one, these are really cool. These are aerosol can straw holders. You know, the straws that you put in, like I don't know, brake clean, right? You're always losing them. Every can comes with a new straw, but I'm constantly stealing the straws off the other cans because I always lose the straw, and this is awesome. It basically attaches to the straw in a very pliable way to the can, and then you're never going to lose it, and it's always right there, convenient, handy, super awesome. They come in a pack of 5, and I just put it on 5 different types of cans that I have. So like brake clean and my brake free, whatever it is, PB blaster I think is what I use, and then well, what WD-40 and whatever cans that I have with straws, I throw this on one and then I just take them off and move it to the next can when that can is empty. Work really well. They last a long time. I think I actually gave 1 or 2 to my dad and he uses them too. So they're really awesome and cheap, and it's so handy. It's one of those things where you don't realize you want it until you have it. Just having the straw right there where you can pop off and it just kind of dangles out of your way and then put it back on when you need it. It's super cool. Now this one is for the Toyota people. If you're watching, your car, if you're going to try to change the oil on it, typically Toyotas use a canister. They don't use a spin-off filter, so you have an element inside there you need to replace. Now that canister can be prone to damage if you don't use the right tool. The Toyota one is kind of, I mean, it works, but it's thin metal. This one is really thick, really nice, really high quality. You're not going to break it, and you're not going to break your filter housing with it, which can be a pain. I know some people use strap wrenches on the filter housing, or they use a myriad of different tools to try to get them off, and none of those work well. This one's nice. It gives you 2 options to tighten the housing or loosen the housing. One, you can take a 3/8 ratchet and stick it right in there. The other one, it uses a socket. You can stick a socket over the end where the ratchet goes, right here, and that will allow you to get a bit more secure grip if you really need it. But you shouldn't be torquing your housings down that much anyway. They're only like 25 Newton meters, like whatever that is in pounds. So yeah, but this is a super awesome tool. Definitely recommend it if you're changing oil in a Toyota. This is the way to go. All right, so the next one here is a brake fluid tester. Now this is really cool. A lot of people don't realize that brake fluid in your vehicles are supposed to be changed out every few years. Some I think recommend 5, some are 2 or 3. It just depends on your vehicle. But more importantly, you're swapping it out, not if it's just dirty, but if it has moisture in it. Moisture can wreak havoc on braking systems, and the cleaner you keep that fluid, the longer everything in your system is going to last. It's much like coolant in that it's more than just hydraulic fluid. It keeps things from leaking and keeps things nice. So what this little thing does is it has a little gauge on it, as you can see, and you stick it inside your reservoir. Let's see if there's a little thing. There you go. Stick it inside your reservoir. And what it's going to do, it's going to test how much moisture is in the fluid, because brake fluid is hydrophilic and it will attract moisture. So every once in a while I have one of these, and every once in a while I will stick it in the brake fluid of my vehicles and check and see what the moisture level is at. For me, if it's at 2%, I just do a flush and get rid of it and put new stuff in. It's not even worth pushing it out that far. Honestly, for me, it's about every 2 years that I do the brake fluid on my vehicles. But this is kind of nice if you don't think about it. You don't have to really worry about any intervals or anything. You can pop that in there and check. Or if you have older vehicles, you can check what they are. Really handy, simple, easy tool to have. So this next one you'll appreciate if you do your own oil changes. This is Havoline oil. Now, I run Havoline in all my vehicles except for the Toyota. It gets Toyota oil. Don't ask me why I do that, other than I have some odd thing where the Toyota should get Toyota oil. You can leave your opinions in the comments below if you want on that one. It's a little odd, I know. But my Chevy Cruze, which is my work vehicle, and the Jeep both get Havoline. They have for many years. They both run really fine. The Jeep has 130,000 miles on it. The Cruze has 140,000 miles on it. And they have zero issues at all. It's good oil. It's good stuff. What's really cool about the Havoline though is that this series right here, this is their Smart Change series. So this comes in a box, and it comes with 6 quarts. That's really cool. So like the Jeep only needs this one box to do a whole oil change. If we go anywhere else and you buy a 5-quart bottle, you're gonna have to buy an additional quart to go with it, which is gonna cost you more money. In an example right here, this 10W30, which my Jeep would take one of these, it costs $19.98, and then a Mopar oil filter is something like $4 or $5. So really it's like 26, 27 bucks for me to do a full oil change on the Jeep, which is pretty affordable, to be honest, pretty cheap. And they have this for synthetic and conventional in all things. So I run this in both of my vehicles, no problems at all. In contrast, if we hopped over to O'Reilly's in my area, what you would see is that a 10W30 5-quart bottle is $29.99, and then you're gonna pay anywhere from $5 to $8 for an additional quart. So it's a bit more expensive. And I know we're talking $10, $15 here, but if you're doing oil changes like me, where you're doing, well, maybe 2 or 3 a year on the Jeep alone, then it starts to add up. It's good stuff. Have had no issues with it. And honestly, it's really cool to pour this out because it pours so cleanly, so fast. And then there's really no cleanup. I actually pour my oil back into this thing and then take it to the, I take it to the automotive shop to get rid of it, and they just take the container and I don't have to worry about it. It's really cool, really nice to have. So definitely take a look at that if you're looking to save some money on your oil and make it easier for yourself. All right, so the last thing I have for you are our gloves. And real quick, side note on gloves, I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to them. Outside, I like a good leather glove. I think they're comfortable. I think they have dexterity for what I'm doing, and they protect my hands really well. And when it comes to comfort, leather gloves, there's nothing like a really well-worked leather glove. They're fantastically comfortable, and they're just, yeah, leather gloves outside a good pair is just, there's nothing that can beat that, honestly. They're great. But when I'm in the garage, things are a little different. One thing I despise are those mechanics gloves. They have that weird plastic rubber design on the back. They have that Velcro strap. Both those things end up getting destroyed over time. The Velcro strap gets caught on stuff, and the Velcro gets full of nasty engine gunk, whatever's in there. And the gloves are just trash after a little bit, and they're not worth anything. So instead of going with those, I use these. Now these are called DexFit. I think MaxiFlex is another brand that makes them. If you've worked in any kind of like truck industry where you're unloading from the trucks, if you're unloading trucks into stores, you'll probably recognize these. They're fantastic. So what they are is they're a stretchy material on the back of the hand, or the whole glove, and then the other side has this nitrate material right here. And they grip really, really well. And you have lots of dexterity in your fingertips with these things, which makes them fantastic for working on vehicles because they grip your fingertips so well, and they're so low profile on your hand, it's almost like you're not even wearing them. As close as you can get to with a glove, which is what you want with mechanics, because you need to feel what you're doing when you're working with bolts and such. And this is the best way that I've found to limit how much I'm not feeling from the hand tools I'm working with, if you catch my drift. They're awesome though. Definitely recommend them. The other thing is too, with these, you can use them with your phone, which is really cool because if you're like me and you're constantly looking up torque specs on phones and stuff, you can use it on your screen and you don't have to take them off. I like them because you can slip them on and off real quick and you don't have to deal with any straps or anything. And the other thing that I like about them is they don't really get caught on anything, and they're cut and tear resistant, so they'll protect your hands, and they're fantastic for that. Now, here's a quick tip when you're using these, or really any mechanics gloves or whatever you're going to use. None of those gloves are resistant to liquids, right? If you're changing oil with a mechanics glove, it's very easy to get it drenched in oil. They're not liquid proof, they're not waterproof. They're going to get oil in them. What I do with these is I actually put these on, and if I'm working on liquids, I put a plastic glove or rubber glove over it. Honestly, I go to Harbor Freight and I buy the thickest glove they have, and I stick that over it. I buy them in packs of 3. You can typically buy them in 1, 3, and 12 pairs. I buy them in packs of 3. I think next time I'm going to buy these orange ones actually. Then you guys will be able to see what I'm doing a little easier when I'm working on vehicles. But yeah, these are really cool. They're nice gloves. So if you guys want any of this stuff, hit the description below. I'll leave links to everything in there. If you have any questions, hit the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. We can also start a small discussion on me using Toyota branded products for my Toyota, specifically oil, and honestly every fluid in there is Toyota fluid only. So we can talk about that if you want. If you really want, I'll do a whole video on it. I have this whole thing of research and stuff that I did in a thought process on why I use Toyota only stuff in our Toyota. So we can go into that if you'd really like. It's a little strange. I'm a little different on that front. I'm just very picky about things and maintaining vehicles. So, but we can get into that if you guys really want. So with that, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit the comments below, and well, we'll see you in the next video.